Tom Brady
was wearing both gloves at the press conference.
Is this trouble for New England Patriots?
Who knows? Let's talk about it on
The Edge.
I see the block, I need the block. I see the block, I need the block. I see the block, need the block. I see the block, need the block. The block is high.
Welcome to The Edge, I'm Justin.
And I'm Bryce.
This week we have an awesome matchup with the AFC Championship, Patriots versus Jaguars.
Patriots versus Jaguars. You know, it's funny, I'm wearing one glove, and Tom Brady was wearing two gloves.
Both gloves. That's very interesting.
Yes.
I mean, it's on a throwing hand, but maybe you know, for extra protection. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I mean, do you think it's serious? Do you think this hand injury is actually a problem for the New England Patriots?
I don't think it's serious. I don't think Bill Belichick thinks it's serious. I think that, okay, so he cut his hand, right? On a helmet.
Yes.
Okay. And it's on the knuckle, right? Okay. That's not going to bother Tom Brady.
No.
That's Tom Brady. What is this, his 7th straight AFC Championship appearance?
7th straight.
I don't think
it's going for a 6th Super Bowl, which is ridiculous. And I don't really think it's going to be either. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see because it is a throwing hand, and when you get to a throwing hand with any quarterback, it's going to make a difference.
Right. Anything on the hand makes a difference for
But the difference about the situation is Tom Brady and it's Bill Belichick, and I feel like Tom Brady can go out there with one arm and win the game.
Once January hits, these two, you can't take them out.
But, interesting enough, he goes up against the Jaguars defense, who statistically the second best defense in the league. Now I know they just gave up 42 points against Steelers, but 42 points against a really good team. And the New England Patriots don't have that much firepower. They just don't. They have Tom Brady, they have Gronkowski, but other than that, I mean, you know, Brandon Cooks isn't Antonio Brown, you know, so I think it's, you know, Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye aren't going to have to cover these superstar receivers, and I don't think New England's going to be able to put up this kind of points on their defense.
You don't think New England's going to be able to put up what the Steelers put up?
No, I do not.
No?
It's only because, especially with Tom Brady's hands being hurt, like, you know, you never know what's going to happen. I feel like they might try to stick to more of a run game, and New England doesn't really have a run game. You know, they run through Tom Brady. But with that being said, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, so he'll figure. If anyone's going to figure it out, he's going to figure it out.
So who are we watching in this game? Who
you know,
looking at? Both sides.
Everyone's looking at the Jaguars defense versus Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady is the matchup. I mean, he's the superstar that's left in the playoffs. But I think it's going to come down to Blake Bortles because what's the Jaguars offense going to do? The Patriots defense is terrible. I mean, they're 28th in the league, and every statistic wise, they're not very good.
With a 15-10, what was the final score in that Bills and
3-10.
10 to 3. Okay,
yeah.
So one touchdown was scored in that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, look at that game and look at the last game. Like, it's just two different teams showed up. It's crazy. And I feel like Blake Bortles doesn't have to come out and play a great MVP game. He just can't turn the ball over. If he can play a solid, smart game, get some points on the board, I think their defense can hold the Patriots.
He's going to need some help though with Leonard Fournette.
Absolutely.
Which that knee, how serious is that knee, you think?
He came back in the game and he ran all over us, so I don't know, but that's not saying much because
he hurt the Steelers.
Yeah, he really did. But that's the other thing is, he is a big, powerful back, and I know he's a rookie, but he's going to be good. He's going to be the future of the NFL. So,
well, when you know Leonard Fournette's future, formerly LSU running back, right?
Right. SEC.
Right. Every time he has been injured, something negative follows.
Right.
So even though it was okay in that Steeler game, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's going to have as big of a day that he
absolutely
had
not.
in Pittsburgh. I really don't.
And most of it comes down to New England. It's not even talent-wise. Like, if you look at their roster, and they're not even close to the most talented team in the NFL, but they're so well coached and they're so well disciplined that you can't pull any wool over their eyes. You're not going to trick them. Like with the Steelers and Jaguars, the coaching was terrible, and Jaguars took full advantage of that, and that's not going to happen. But like I said, it's just interesting to see what Tom Brady's happening. And the reason, like you said earlier, that you don't think it's a big deal. I don't really think it's too big of a deal.
The knee.
No, Tom Brady's hand.
Okay, yeah.
But at the same time, Bill Belichick did sit him out of practice. And I was watching earlier, Teddy Bruschi was talking on ESPN, and he said that Bill Belichick is a firm believer in practice, that you do not miss practice.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially AFC Championship week. Like, you want to get all the reps in with your first team.
Hey, maybe this is his 7th straight appearance?
Yeah,
so maybe he's like, this week I'm just not going to practice.
Well, that's another thing.
He's like, hey, this is my 7th time going.
It's a cut, and he just got stitches, so maybe they don't want him to reopen it. Maybe they're trying to let it heal. Because let's think about it. Tom Brady can miss a month of practice and come in and probably still win Super Bowl.
Why is he wearing the other glove? Is his hand cold?
For That looks pretty cool. I mean, they're both red.
True.
But and it's going to be interesting also because with the Jaguars defense, they're called Saxonville. They get pressure on the quarterback, and they have the exact.
Big Ben had a day.
Yeah, and that's why. And that's another thing that is crazy to me is if you look at it, the Steelers' offensive line, 3 of the 5 people are all pros. They made all pro offensive linemen look stupid.
Oh.
And when you go to New England, I mean, they're still really good. Obviously, Tom Brady barely gets hit, but I don't think they're as good as Marquise Pouncey or Marcus Gilbert on the Steelers. So I want to see what pressure they can do. And if they can get pressure on Tom Brady with 4 people and they can drop the rest, if they're not blitzing,
That's how you beat him.
That's exactly what Miami did. It's just hard. It's very hard. Not many teams can get pressure with 4 people, but Jacksonville has that defense.
Quarters, yeah.
Exactly.
You can play a good half against the Patriots, good quarter, but it's very hard to put 4 quarters together.
Well, if you learn anything from the last Super Bowl, you got to put all 4 quarters.
Yes. Matt Ryan, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. How big of an impact is Gronk going to have in this game?
Well, Gronk, I don't understand why teams don't understand how to stop Gronk. I mean, I guess he is just that good.
Well, he can block well. He's a great tight end. He catches everything.
But
well, not everything. Okay, he tries to use one hand way too much. Let's say that.
But he can catch it.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna stick my hand up here and try to catch the ball.
All right. But Gronkowski, I think he's gonna make a big impact. But it's just confusing to me why teams don't know how to stop him. I guess it's hard to stop him because he's the best tight end in the league. But they run a lot of seams and a lot of out routes with him. And you know when you play the Patriots, that's who they want to get the ball because there are other players. They're not terrible. Brandon Cooks is a very good receiver. He's very fast. He can run good routes. Even Chris Hogan went off last year. And then, any of these players can hurt you. But the main person is Gronkowski. And in the matchup with Gronkowski, I think if they put Telvin Smith on him, on the Jaguars defense, he's fast. He can cover him. If they can just man him up. And
Telvin Smith, great cover guy.
If they can
good cover guy.
Keep him to like 5-6 receptions and maybe 1 touchdown. Don't let him get on his roll. And don't let Tom Brady get comfortable throwing to him. That's what you're going to have to do.
Well, that's what it comes down to. I think if you stop, in my opinion, if you stop Gronkowski, you stop the Patriots.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I attended the Pittsburgh Steelers and Patriots game, and the Steelers were winning that game. And then what happened? They started getting Gronkowski involved, and they couldn't stop them at all. Nothing.
Oh, he got very involved.
Yeah, that was it. It was Tom Brady said, Gronkowski, let's go. They just scored, and that was it. So you can't let them get in their rhythm. Now, if you can just stop Gronkowski, I will let Brandon Cooks beat me. I'll let Deion Lewis beat me, but I'm not going to let Gronk beat me because I know if I can stop him, the other players have to make plays. That's how you beat him.
I think they have the edge rush ability and that defensive front.
Oh, but Calais Campbell, 12, they're just outstanding.
Yeah, I think
2 of the players have at least 10 sacks on our defensive line. That's ridiculous.
Saxonville.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
If you shut down Gronk, you stop the Patriots. And obviously you're going to have to put pressure on Tom Brady.
Another thing is, you look at the Jaguars' defensive backs with A.J. Boye and Jalen Ramsey. They're the best in the league. Jalen Ramsey didn't let up a touchdown until last week all season. That is unbelievable to me.
That's ridiculous.
And he did it against Antonio Brown. So that's why it's the best receiver in the league, so you can't really get too bad on yourself. So do I think he could shut down Brandon Cooks? Absolutely. I don't think either one of the receivers are going to get out of their grasp. I just don't see it happening. But at the same time, if Tom Brady can get him the ball, he's the best quarterback of all time. He's accurate as hell, so if anyone's going to get him the ball, it's going to be him. But like I said, I just think these defensive backs are way too good, and their confidence is through the roof. They're kind of like the Seattle Seahawks when they were good. That's what they act like. Jalen Ramsey was always predicting they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
So I feel like with that confidence going in there, I really think it's going to be a lot closer to what people think it's going to be.
Right. I think, I don't know, what do you think? I think it's, I'm going to have to say Patriots 27. Jacksonville 16.
Hey, it's in Foxborough. I mean, that's going to be the hardest part. That's going to be the part that's really going to hurt, especially being up in the cold in Foxborough. And I'm not saying Patriots cheap, but there's always something going on up in New England. So you never know.
Deflategate.
Yeah, their headsets might go off. I'm just kidding. But seriously though, I mean, it's going to be a tough one. I'm gonna take the pick. I'm gonna pick the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh.
And a lot of people might think it's crazy.
Ooh.
I think they're going to win 24-21. I don't think they're going to lose necessarily because of this hand injury, but I think they're going to lose because I think it's going to play a little bit of a part. It's going to affect his accuracy, whether it's just a cut, but it's sore. Clearly it's bothering him.
Right.
So his accuracy is going to be hurt. It's his right hand. I mean, I've broken my hand. I can't even pick something up. So you know what I mean? It's not that bad, but it's going to affect. It's in the NFL, especially if he's getting hit around. If people are hitting that hand, it's going to bother him. And I don't think he's going to throw interceptions or just be terrible.
No.
But I think that defense is going to rush him and make him force things. I think he's not going to be 100% to deal with it.
You think Tom Brady's getting a lunch?
Yeah, I think he's going to get nice PB&J. Maybe lunchable, I don't know.
So there's our predictions. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below about the AFC Championship. So, okay, moving on. The NFC Championship game.
The quote-unquote boring one.
Yeah, well, what I want to say is the last time two quarterbacks with fewer than 3 games of playoff experience faced each other in the conference championship was 2006 between Rex Grossman and Drew Brees.
Rex Grossman. Well, I will say this. I guess Nick Foles could be the Rex Grossman of the equation. But I don't think...
Everyone is sad about Drew Brees.
Well, hey, go Minnesota.
Crazy
stuff last week.
If anybody loses the way you lost last week, Drew Brees.
That's not his fault. I mean, that was just...
No, I know. Drew Brees did everything he could there.
I don't know what
I feel for Drew
safety
Brees.
was doing.
I felt bad. Stephon Diggs was given... Oh, man.
The miracles. But the thing is, though, that defense... But think about that game. That game was huge because you have Drew Brees, who is a 4,000-plus yard passer almost every single year. Future Hall of Famer for sure. Super Bowl champion. Probably if they would have won, I think they would have won Super Bowl. I really do. I actually was thinking they were going to go. Against Minnesota, and he did nothing. Minnesota stopped everything that whole first half. They were non-existent.
What was it? 20-0?
Yeah, at halftime?
20-0. Because the Saints went for a field goal, and they missed it.
Yeah.
Wide left, I think it was. Maybe it was wide right. I don't remember. But the Vikings got it back, went down, kicked a field goal. It was 17-0, made it 20-0 going into the halftime.
No, I mean, you could say maybe the Vikings look like they didn't play their game in the second half, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, this is the NFC Championship. Like, 3 of these 4 teams never won a Super Bowl, so they want to get there. And I think being in Minnesota is huge, and they have the best defense in the league. And
that's something else. If this is a Minnesota Super Bowl with Minnesota in it,
that'd be nuts.
How about
Never
that?
happened before.
No.
But their defense is great, and Drew Brees is going to get his. Same with Tom Brady. Same with any good elite quarterback. They're going to come out and they're going to get their stats. They're going to do what they need to do. But they got a little lackadaisical at the end, and I feel like that's just showing Drew Brees' greatness. You have a Hall of Fame quarterback who could do that. There's not much you can do in that situation.
No.
And this week, they're not facing anything like that. Nick Foles isn't, I don't think he's a scrub. I don't think he's terrible.
No.
He never know.
He won them the wild card game.
Yeah, against Atlanta, which is a good team. I mean...
15-10, Atlanta did have, personally, I think Atlanta shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and I think the Eagles' defense won that game more than anything. I mean,
Yeah.
you held that offense to 10 points. I mean, that's
You held
incredible.
Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan to
10 points.
10 points.
That's incredible. And Nick Foles didn't throw for a touch or anything, but they have a good run game. That's what they're going to have to rely on in this game, which is going to be tough against Minnesota. But Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount, they got a good 1-2 punch back there.
Oh, very.
And Nick Foles, Alshon Jeffrey is playing lights out this year, which is weird because he's never... he was in Chicago, so what do you expect? But he's doing really good this year, and they need a number 1 receiver. And it's unfortunate Carson Wentz got hurt, but I feel like they have a very good team. I feel like that one position might not hurt them as much as maybe we thought it would. They made it to the NFC Championship. They beat Atlanta.
Yeah, they were the Eagles 3rd in the league with 132 rushing yards a game.
What else can you ask? But on the flip side, you have Minnesota averaging 83 points, allowing 83 points a game.
At the same time, how around the league, you see it with the Cowboys, how Ezekiel Elliott feeds off Dak Prescott and vice versa. When Nick Foles is in there, maybe, teams are they're gonna know, hey, Carson Wentz isn't in there anymore. Nick Foles isn't a dual threat quarterback. He's primarily
probably the MVP if he was to help.
Carson Wentz was the Russell Wilson in there. Like you contain him, he's gonna throw all over you, and when you don't contain him, we've seen what happens.
Yeah, there you go.
And then when you don't, you game plan against Carson Wentz, you have to game plan against Jay Ajayi. And then you have to game plan against LeGarrette Blount. When you're on a tired 3rd down, 4th down situation, and you just bring in LeGarrette Blount, former Patriot, what are you supposed to do?
And it's even worse on the flip side. You got Case Keenum, who I think Case Keenum. I love Case Keenum. I think he's going to be a great quarterback.
He's had a rough career.
He came in Minnesota, and I don't think anyone really expected him to do what he did. But they're 13-3. They're in the NFC Championship, and realistically, last game he threw the ball 40 times, which means they were relying on Case Keenum to get them that win. They weren't like running the ball or having him play conservative. He threw the ball 40 times. That doesn't happen. Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball 40 times every game. So they're relying on Case Keenum, which means they have a lot of faith in Case Keenum, and he did really good. I mean, the miracle was crazy. Probably will never happen again, but he has...
It's the first time it's ever happened. On the last play of a game in the playoffs. The last play in a playoff game where a team has won. Yeah,
I just think Case Keenum, I think he's the real deal. I don't really consider him an inexperienced quarterback. I know it's the playoffs, and I guess you have playoff inexperience, but it's football. They're in the NFL. They know what they're doing, and they're at home. They get to be in Minnesota, and the thing for him, if they can pull this off, they're in Minnesota again. So having the home field advantage the whole entire way is huge, especially when you're playing an inexperienced quarterback like Nick Foles, who realistically had one great year and been second string.
The Eagles have seen their points drop. When Carson Wentz was in there, they were scoring about 32 points a game, and when Nick Foles has been the man, it's dropped 10 points down to 22.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's big,
especially in the playoffs. Like that.
If you even get a field goal in the playoffs, that's huge.
Well,
any points in one of these games is huge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, anything.
I mean, unless last week where it's 45.
Well, go
42.
back to the Jags-Bills game, 10-3, one score. That's it. That made the difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and these are four very good defensive football teams.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. On the flip side, if Eagles got a great defense, I mean, they have something to prove because they're the underdog. No one believes in them. Everyone thought as soon as Carson Wentz went down, that was it. And I think that pissed them off. I think that they felt like they were being disrespected like that because
Nick Foles probably took it personally.
Oh, absolutely. Probably the most because they see him come in, everyone's like, "Oh, we're done," and he's thinking to himself, "I can get this done." He's in the NFL. He's got it number 4. In 2013, he threw 27 passes for touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he could do it. I mean, and this team that Philly has, like I said, I feel like overall with their offensive line, defensive line, offense, defense, they have a great team all around. There is not a weak link on that team. The only weak link is their quarterback.
They killed everybody all season.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If Carson Wentz is there, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I truly believe that. I don't think it's even a question.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be interesting to see what Nick Foles does in Minnesota. But I do think Case Keenum's going to have a game. I think
so too.
Minnesota's going to be able to contain Nick Foles, and I feel like the defense is going to get tired. I feel like it's going to be a close game, but I feel like Minnesota's going to be able to outlast them, especially at home. I mean, that's huge in the playoff.
Right.
And Minnesota has great home field advantage, especially after last week. They're destined. They feel destined they should be there, and I feel like they're going to go in this game like we're winning this game.
I mean, they're probably thinking to themselves, "Hey, we have a chance to." I mean, not that it matters to them. That's not why they're out there. But they're probably thinking, "Hey, we have a chance to be in the Super Bowl in Minnesota."
Imagine winning the Super Bowl in Minnesota. Your home fans are with you while you win the Super Bowl. That'd be a great match next week. That'd be a great sight to see, and I would love to see it. And also, Stephon Diggs, I think, is going to have a big game. And I know that...
Against Jalen Mills.
I do think so. I feel like... throughout the season, I know maybe his numbers don't, pop out off the page, but the eye test to me, Case Keenum looks like him and Stephon Diggs, who they just found a rhythm. They feel like they're on the same page. And I feel like coming into this game, especially after last week, things are just looking up for them. I just have all high hopes for Minnesota. I don't really see too much things going wrong.
When Case Keenum targets Stephon Diggs, right, his passer rating is a 142.
Think about that.
When he targets Stephon Diggs.
Plus, the guy that brought that up, his QBR is the best in the league. In front of this guy. Where is he at? The GOAT right there. In front of that guy for this year. Now, I know QBR is QBR, and you'd be like, that's stupid stuff. But think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. That means he pretty much statistically is the best quarterback in the league with his completion percentage, in his passing yards, and his touchdowns to interception ratio. Is better than Tom Brady, technically, statistically wise.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Brady's the best of all time. I'm not saying Tom Brady is worse than Case Keenum, but I'm just saying Case Keenum had a great year. And he went 13-3. Exactly. They're in the NFC Championship.
I mean, it speaks for itself.
And I feel like that's going to be the biggest factor in this game is Case Keenum's been here this whole entire year. He is I don't want to say he's the specific reason, but he's been on here the whole year. He's led them to 13-3 along with that defense. They've been playing together. They have all of their plays down pat. They're all on the same page. And with Nick Foles, he's coming in, you're saying, hey, win 2 playoff games, take us to Super Bowl. That's hard for any quarterback. I don't know any quarterback that could do that. I mean,
yeah.
that's just going to be a tough.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're experienced or not, which we know Nick Foles is obviously a vet.
Yeah, I mean,
But for anybody, I mean, that's hard to. Hey, it's a.
he's a good backup, but I don't think he's a good enough backup to win a Super Bowl. I just don't think
No, I don't think so either. Okay, so in the trenches, we've got Griffin and Hunter versus Lane Johnson and Vitae.
It's going to be good. It's
With
going to be real good.
yeah, I mean, Griffin has what 13 sacks in the year.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be talking about Jacksonville, Minnesota, maybe even better. Saxonville, I don't know what you call them, Saxon soda, I don't know.
Saxon soda.
But that's a good point that you bring it up because the pressure they're going to get on Nick Foles, I don't think Nick Foles is going to be able to handle that. You just got a defense that's just too good, who's been so good all year, who I know last game kind of didn't show up in the second half, but they held Drew Brees to 0 points in the first half.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like, especially with that happening, they understand now that maybe like maybe 20-0. They're like, oh, we won it, and they weren't playing as hard as they should have been.
Right.
And that's not going to happen again. I think it's not going to happen again. And like I said, the pressure they can get on them, and the cornerback, and we're talking about Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye, the cornerback for Minnesota are just as good. So it's just going to be, is Nick Foles going to be able to play a mistake-free game? I don't know if either quarterback's going to have a career day, but who's going to make the least mistakes? That's who's going to win.
Right. The least mistakes will win one of the games.
And it sounds simple, but they're both validated on defense. We know they're both great defenses, and we know, at least on Minnesota, that their offense has been consistent. So we'll see it, Philly. I mean, we give a lot of credit to Carson Wentz, but I mean, Carson Wentz is only one guy. He had to get the ball to somebody, right? And people had to block for him, so you never know. And the running game is there, so you never know. Nick Foles might be able to. We'll see.
I mean, Philly's definitely going to be in one tough atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
I'm going to have to say that I've got Minnesota on this one.
Yeah, I think
I've got Minnesota on this one. I'm going to say it's Minnesota 23, Philly 20.
I will say this. I think it's going to be a close game. You said what? You said 23-20?
23-20, yeah, Minnesota.
That's sounds about right.
I mean, I think it's not necessarily going to be a really high-scoring game, but it's also not going to be a, 15-10, 10-3 game. I think both offenses are very capable of scoring points and putting up points on the board, but I don't think it's going to be 45-42.
No.
No.
Honestly, that game was crazy. That was just a crazy game. It was just nuts. But interesting, I just found this on ESPN. Thank you, ESPN. Nick Foles has been in 2 playoff games. Okay, he's 46 in his career. He's 46, 63, 441 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 102.7 passer rating. That's actually very good.
Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But that's what I mean. Now, can he play mistake-free and score? Because like last week he played mistake-free, but he didn't score. Now, they won the game, but I don't think 15 points is going to win this game. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So can he do that and get a couple touchdowns with it? I think Case Keenum can, but that's the biggest question. What can Nick Foles do? We just don't know. We have no season. We have passed, and that's not too good for him. So, what's he going to do? Who's going to show up on Sunday? I would say, you said 23-20. I'll say 24-20. I'm on board with you. I think
24-21 Minnesota.
Yeah, I think
a field goal game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close because, I mean, like last week, you never know. Minnesota's defense could not show up in the second half, and their offense really wasn't there in the second half either. So it's all going to come down to who makes the least mistakes. It sounds simple, but that's it. Least turnovers are going to win this game.
And with these defenses, it's going to be kind of hard not to make a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with Minnesota and Jacksonville, all these games, they'll have really good scoring defenses. Right. I mean, these defenses go into games thinking they're going to score touchdowns, which is nuts. You don't want defenses to think like that.
Right.
And especially with this, Nick Foles, I think, is going to be a little overwhelmed.
The overall takeaway percentage in all of these, in both games, that's incredible. Where the ability for both defenses to score, like you were just talking about.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see. I'm hoping. I'm not a Patriots fan. I get the greatest of all time, but I want to see one of these teams who never won a Super Bowl win a Super Bowl. The 3 of these teams have not won a Super Bowl. Yeah. I think that'd be great. Tom Brady has enough, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, stop. Just.
What do you guys think at home? Let us know what you guys think about the NFC AFC Championships. Minnesota Eagles. I don't know.
Yeah, are we wrong? I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know.
But you never know.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Tune into The Edge next week.
I see the block, I need the block. I see the block, I need the block. I see the block.